There's a part of you that doesn't waver, even when everything else does. Even when you're second guessing yourself, overthinking every decision, adjusting to meet everyone's expectations. There's something underneath all of that stays. And I think we forget about it sometimes, or maybe we just stop listening to it because everything else gets louder. It's easy to lose touch with that steady part of yourself. You start measuring yourself by what you're achieving, by how others see you, by whether you're keeping up with some invisible standard you didn't even choose. And at some point, you realize you're performing a version of yourself that isn't entirely real, not fake, just adjusted, edited, carefully managed so it makes sense to other people. And in the process, the part of you that actually knows who you are gets quieter. Not because it's gone, just because you stopped paying attention to it. And here's what I think happens. The more we're caught up in external validation, metrics, approval, proving ourselves, the less we trust what's actually steady inside of us. We start thinking we need more information, more clarity, and more certainty before we move forward. But knowing yourself isn't about having all of the answers. It's about trusting what stays when everything else shifts. And that part of you, it doesn't argue. It doesn't defend itself. It doesn't need to prove anything. It just stays. I'm still figuring this out, to be honest. But reconnecting with that steady part of myself doesn't happen in the noise. It happens when I step away from it, when I sit with myself, when I actually pay attention instead of just moving through the day on autopilot. And yeah, sometimes I lose touch with it. Sometimes I get so caught up in what I think I should be doing or how I think I should show up that I forget what actually feels true. And when that happens, I have to be intentional about finding my way back. Setting boundaries, being real with myself about what's going on. Sometimes even digging deeper into why I lost it in the first place. And for me, that looks like journaling, meditation, or prayer. Something that lets me quiet the noise long enough to hear what's already there. So maybe the question isn't, what am I supposed to be? Maybe it's, who am I when no one's watching? Because that's the part that knows. That's the part that doesn't need validation or approval to be real. And the more you trust it, the less you need to prove yourself to anyone else. You don't need permission to be who you are. You don't need to justify it or explain it or make it make sense to other people. You already know. Beneath all the noise, beneath all the second guessing, you already know. And the more you listen to that, the steadier everything else gets. So take a breath and trust what stays. Thanks for listening to this flow session. And if you want to practice reconnecting with that steady part of yourself, I have a grounding flow on my yoga channel that'll help you quiet the noise and come back to what's real. Find what resonates for you, and the link is below. Until next time.